Welcome back to the Walang Hiya Podcast. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, I'm Julian and I'm 12 years old.
And I'm Annikka and I'm Julian's mom.
So, if this is your first time listening to our podcast is mainly about
Parang natulala ka na doon. Start pa lang ng session na. Start pa lang ng episode na wala ka na agad.
But anyways, ano nga ba?
Well, our podcast is mainly about Filipino families. Basically to talk about the things that normal Filipino families don't talk about.
Yeah, and also to encourage more people to be open about their emotions and their problems in life.
Mm-hmm.
And also to share the perspective of teens and parents.
Mm-hmm.
So the target age for this podcast doesn't really matter because for the parent viewers, I'm here to explain the perspective of your children.
Mm-hmm. And I'm here, of course, to explain the perspective of parents so that those teens or younger generation who are listening to this episode will understand how and what their parents think of. Okay. All right. So now let's discuss something really important, Julian. What is our topic for today?
Our topic for today is bullying.
Ooh, okay, bullying. All right. That's a very controversial, no? Very controversial and very interesting topic. And well, let me ask you this first before we discuss things about bullying. I want to ask you, why did you choose bullying?
Mainly because in recent times, bullying has evolved from being just at school and just out in public to now being with people all the time. You can be in a workplace and there are people bullying you. You could be on social media and people could be bullying you there. They even made a term for it, cyberbullying.
Right.
And so a lot of mainly kids experience cyberbullying online. And syempre I've seen it happen myself because I'm a kid and I've been online,
Right.
So
right. And that's a very interesting thing. That's a very interesting thing that you said, no? And I'm interested to know if you have experienced bullying before. But I'll ask those super personal questions later, because I do have important and very controversial questions in mind. And let's discuss about that. And since this is the topic that you chose, I think I will give the floor to you. You ask the first question.
I'll ask the first question. Okay.
Yeah. parang ayaw mo ata.
No, I'm just clarifying. Okay, so the first question I have, which I feel like you're going to be able to answer, is, can bullying have long-term effects even into adulthood?
Oh, wow. Okay, so can bullying have long-term effects even into adulthood? Tama ba? Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the most common effects of bullying is lack of confidence. Actually, parang lack or too much confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
And let me explain that, no? Since I think it's easier to understand when you say lack of confidence. Kasi when you're being bullied, syempre, they're kind of like stepping on your ego, stepping on you as a person, di ba? They're saying nasty things about you. They're saying really below the belt things about you. And over time, you believe in what the bullies said or say. So you, most of the time, you unconsciously believe in what these bullies say. Yun, no? So it does really affect you negatively, regardless if regardless if you become less confident or overly confident. And let me explain why I said overly confident, though, because one of the, I think, defense mechanism of people, of course, you know, when you're experiencing something that bad, or when you're experiencing something that really shakes your buong pagkatao, as humans, we tend to, number one is protect ourselves. And how do you do that, right? You assert power. Dominance. Yeah, I think I like that term. You assert dominance in situations so that you can let people know that, oh, I am the powerful one here. Lalo na sa pagtanda, and I think that's pretty obvious sa workplace. So they assert dominance, they assert power, even though they're not like in the position. Pero sometimes then they're in the position like managers. They're like, I think ang term na tinatawag nila doon would be power tripping, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I said either you become less confident or overly confident, or na parang hambog in Tagalog. I don't know how you translate that into English, but yeah. So those are my thoughts. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times that like bullying will like stick to a person, especially like, you know, it, like, let's say a bully is like calling you a name, like if you really take those words to heart, it will stick to you for like a long time. And you will, you know, in a lot of cases, people get consumed by the negativity of the bully. And there's something like a YouTuber said, I saw this on YouTube Shorts. If you crumple up a piece of paper every day, and then like that's like a bullying this one kid, and if you crumple it up more and more and more, eventually it will just like be a big ball of paper, right? And then even if you try to say sorry and you uncrumple the paper, and even if you like try to fix it by like rubbing it against like a chair to like, you know, straighten it out, it will still have wrinkles all over the page. So no matter what you do, no matter how much times you say sorry, that paper will not be fixed. It will still have carried trauma, no matter how little that carried trauma is. That one experience can change the person's life. But of course, people can still overcome their problems in life. But yun, like, even if eventually bullying does have sometimes a positive effect because people learn to grow from those experiences and people learn what not to do, they will still be affected by it no matter what. So yun, that's my thought about it.
I really like that analogy, the crumpled paper. I've never heard of it. When you were talking about this crumpled paper, I actually thought of a vase, a glass vase, that once it's broken, no matter how much you fix it, glue, rugby, or whatever, any kind of super glue, diba? There's, in Tagalog, they say may lamat na. There will always be mark of that brokenness in that vase. Diba, ipapatch mo siya, you will put a lot of glue, pero it will never go back to its original form. Right? So I think that's also the same as the analogy of that crumpled paper. Now, however, I'm not advocating for bullying absolutely. But I agree with you, no? Sabi mo nga kanina, there are some good effects then. Kasi if you are thinking straight, if you don't let yourself be consumed by it, I think that's what your words were earlier. And there's a beauty, no? Pag may nakita ka kasing stained glass, nakita mo yung sa mga church, may mga stained glass sila.
Yeah.
Dinedesign nila yan sa windows, right? And it's beautiful, right? And those are broken glasses, right? So if you use that, if you're a person and you've experienced bullying before, and you use that to empower yourself, to use that as a tool to make yourself more beautiful or grow more. I think there's, I don't want to call it as beauty in bullying because I don't think that's true, but
Kasi bullying is negative, but it eventually may have positive effects.
if you look at the other side
Yeah.
of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. All right.
Okay, so the next question that I have is, what's the difference between teasing and bullying?
Oh, okay. Wow. I've never thought of this question before. Ang ganda nito, no? Kasi there is a gray line, or sometimes ang hirap, it's hard to identify if what you're experiencing or what other people experiencing is just teasing or it's already bullying. But for me, I think it's about consistency. And let me explain what I mean. When you have a friend, for example, let me give you a specific scenario or a specific example. When you have a friend who's like teasing you, for example, and let's say, ano ba, very common na quote-unquote pangbubuli in the Philippines is like, oh, maitim ka. Because I don't know what's wrong with people. Like, they really care about skin color. But anyway, that's for another episode.
For a deeper episode.
For deeper episode, right. But kunyari yun na lang, let's take that as an example. When your friend says, let's say, boy maitim, ganyan na lang, no? And that's teasing to me. And the moment you say something about it, like stop it, or that's not okay with me, the moment you set your boundaries, and they keep on like shooting you with those phrases again and again,
Naging bullying na.
that for me that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm not sure, but that's my perception of bullying. Yeah. How about you?
For me, teasing and bullying. When I'm thinking about it, it's usually the perspective of the person who is being teased or the person who is being bullied. Kasi, like, there are things that people just mean as a tease, but a person could interpret it as bullying. And then there are things that are bullying, but people interpret it as teasing. So, like, dun muna tayo sa una, pag teasing, pero na-interpret as bullying. Pag, yun nga, yung sinabi mo, pag like, sumasobra na yung pagbubully, eventually, pagsasobra na yung pagtitis, eventually a person could, like set their boundaries nga, tell them to like, hey, stop.
Right.
That's the point where they, the person teasing them realizes, oh wait, this is going too far na. This is kind of becoming into like bully territory. But if their intentions are to actually bully, tas narinig nila yun, they won't stop kasi gusto nga nila i-bully yung tao, di ba? Yung intention nga nila is to bully. So they wouldn't stop kung narinig nila yun. But then, if someone is bullying but a person interprets it as teasing, it's actually harder for the bully. Kasi like I've seen a lot of cases where like people try to bully other people, pero ang pag-interpret nila is teasing, which makes them more unfazed to what words are being thrown at them. So, but i-focus ko muna sa yung unang sinabi ko nga, yung pagtitising na in-interpret as bullying, which a lot of the times, like, people will say, like, inaasar lang kita. This is not something serious.
Right.
Like, just chill out. Pero, like, I think that's one of the worst ways to handle something, like, with anybody, no matter what the situation is, to say, it's not that big of a problem. Because to that person nga, that problem is big.
Right.
So to be able to comfort them, don't tell them like, hey, it's not that big of a deal, just calm down. You should try to see that to them it is a big problem. So you should, like, I don't necessarily know what to say in, like, kasi every moment is different depending on the person. But to me, one of the worst ways to handle something, let me just clarify, one of the worst ways, not the worst way, one of the worst. So one of the worst ways you can handle something is yun nga, by saying it's not that big of a problem. You should like think that to them it is a big problem. So that's like, tip lang to.
No, I agree that is discounting the other person's experience, right? And yeah, you cannot say ang OA mo naman. It's just biro lang eh. 'Di ba? Yun yung normal na sinasabi ng mga tao eh. Like, ang OA mo naman, OA ka mag-react. Biro lang yun eh. But no, to that person, it is
to that
big.
person, it's a big thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay, but ako naman, kasi I think that you've asked questions, really interesting questions. Pero I want to know naman on the part of the bullies. So, do you think that bullies should be punished? Do you think that they should, or people should help them? Or do you think it's both? Dapat ba silang ma-punish or tulungan?
Or both.
Or both, yeah.
Punish, tulungan, or both. Well, in my opinion, I feel like both, but mainly helped. You should still punish them kasi nga mali yung ginawa nila. But, of course, I can't remember where I heard this one quote from, but it goes something like this. Every bully has a bully.
Right.
So, when someone bullies another kid, it's usually not just to make someone feel pain. It's usually to have an outlet, to like, instead of taking their anger out at the person who's bullying them, they bully another person. That's how they let their anger out. That's how they let their emotions out, by repeating the cycle to another person.
Right.
Which I think I mentioned this in our first episode, where where basically we just let the people know ourselves. Yung term na ginamit ko ata dun is breaking the cycle.
Right.
Which a lot of people fail to do, especially in bullying. Since yun nga, the phrase, every bully has a bully. Where, yun nga, so I explained nga, every bully has someone who might be bullying them. It's usually not just, let me bully this one kid for fun.
Right.
But, so I feel like they should mainly be helped because there is a reason why they're doing that. But then, they also deserve a punishment for what they did. Kasi what they did is wrong nga. No matter, like, I believe that they should be helped, but no matter how much they should be helped, they should also be punished for what they did. So, yun, that's my thought about that. Ikaw naman.
Yeah, I agree because like what I keep on telling you, diba? Every action has a reaction or every action has a repercussion, right? Everything that you do, there's always an effect of that, or there's always, I don't want to call it as punishment though. The repercussion, I think that's the best term to use.
Consequence?
Consequence. I think yes. That's perfect. Yeah, laging may consequence to whatever you do. So yes, they should be punished. And for me, it's also both. Kasi like what you said a while ago, every bully has a bully. And most of the time, this original source of the bully, right? Every person has a bully. Yung bully na yon, most of the time it comes from their own
Family?
exactly, its own family, right? And I love the term that you said, outlet. So that is why they're most of the time. I'm not saying every single time, but majority of the time, the reason why they're bullying other people is kailangan nilang they wanted or they need to transfer that angst, that feeling of remorse or resentment towards their family to another person. 'Di ba? Parang gano'n eh. And that comes out as bullying. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to ask another question because kanina nung intro tayo, no, you mentioned about the term cyberbullying, and it's about, of course, bullying online. And for you, because now at the age of 12, you have social media. Meron kang Facebook, may TikTok ka, diba? Yeah, you have TikTok and whatnot, right? But how can social media make bullying worse? Or how can social media help stop bullying?
For me, I feel like social media. Let's focus on how can it make it worse? I feel like social media, you would think like, oh, okay, I can like use social media to escape bullying, to like not be near the people who are bullying me at school or at the workplace or in real life. And I can like, take on a new persona. Because like, syempre yung mga ibang tao, like yung account nila, personal account, but a lot of people also have like alt accounts that no one knows their like identity of.
Right.
Where dun sila nakakapag-express ng totoong sarili nila.
Mm-hmm.
But dun sa personal account, because now that you can reach people without being like near them, like you can even reach people across the world,
Right.
as long as you have connection, diba?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes bullying worse because now like even if you're at home, like a bully could still be messaging you, a bully could still be like bullying you, even if you're trying to just have a nice time at your home, even if you're just trying to relax like at your house with your family. It kind of makes it worse kasi there's more ways now for a bully to be bullying you.
Right.
There's more opportunities for a bully to be bullying you. But it can also make it better kasi yun nga, you can like, if you do have like an account that a bully doesn't know that it's your account, like you can use it to express yourself, you can use it to also like seek help from other people. There are apps and websites for like getting therapy, where even if it is social media, people can use it to also seek help from their bullying and learn how to avoid being bullied or learn how to handle being bullied. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. And also, I think I also want to make it a point for content creators like us. Now we are considered as content creators, diba?
Yeah.
Even though
Second video pa,
second
audio.
episode pa lang
Second.
natin to. Actually, you know what? Let's do a video on our third episode. Anyway, that's
Third?
for another. Yeah, on our third episode, on the next
Sure.
episode. Anyway, So for me, like, yeah, for content creators, it does give opportunity for us to help people, because this is kind of like a knowledge that we are sharing and also experience, and making sure that we spread goodness, right? But at the same time, sometimes there are content creators na they're bullying other people. There was this content creator just recently, medyo naging issue to eh. She is a content creator, and then dun sa video niya may batang umiiyak. There was a toddler who's crying. And then on her caption, she has a lot of followers. Marami na, like 200K followers, something like that. And then on her video, there was, yung pag sa video mo, yung meron parang thought bubble na lalabas. Parang sabi niya na, hindi naman cute. Parang gano'n na, ganito, parang, I can't remember verbatim, but it's like, ganito ang reaction mo pag may batang umiiyak, pero di naman cute. So it's like, she was kind of like bullying the kid who was crying indirectly, in her video, right? Even though wala namang muka yung bata doon, but still indirectly, like, what are you trying to spread here, right? Why are you trying to spread hate? Parang ganon eh. Well, for her, for sure, it was just a joke, for her, for sure, it was nothing. But as a content
But
creator,
you never know. But sige,
you'll never know. Yeah, that's true.
let's take the idea that it was a joke to her.
Right.
You know?
Right. But then now you're a content creator. You have the responsibility in everything that you put out there. You have to be accountable, diba? But anyway, that's for another story. I just thought about that and thought of like sharing it, because that's one of the good and bad effects of social media in terms of bullying. And I have like a final question for you before we say our thoughts or our last message to the people who are listening to us. And that is, in your opinion, how can confidence, kasi we talked about the long-term effects of bullying, right? And we talked about confidence.
Yes.
Now the question is like, how can confidence and self-esteem help protect someone from bullying?
How can confidence and self-esteem help protect someone from bullying?
Yeah.
Sige. So, for me, like, I feel like you mentioned a while ago about how for a bully, like being overconfident or being underconfident can cause you to bully someone, diba? But I feel like in this case, pwede mo din i-combat yung bullying with being more confident. So like, let's say a bully is bullying you about your style. It's not gonna happen in just a snap or a flick of a wrist, but you can train yourself to be more confident in what you wear, or to gain more confidence in how you look, how your style it looks. And like, if you just don't kasi like, if you're being bullied and you're taking it to heart, most of the time it's because you don't have too much confidence in yourself. And you like hear those words and realize like, oh wait, this is probably a popular opinion. I don't know, because like I'm not really that confident. But if you like learn to be more confident, and if you train yourself to be more confident in who you are as a person, then I feel like you will have a harder time to be affected by those words, those hurtful, negative words of the bullies.
No, I agree with you, and it all boils down to self-awareness, right? Like, how much do you really know yourself, and how much do you trust yourself? If you think that, oh, I'm not that, what you're telling me, I'm not that, then you have to trust. You have to trust yourself more than what other people say. Sabi nila, 'di ba? Very common yung, oh, don't believe in other people. Don't, just do you. You should do you. Yeah, but then if you are not self-aware enough, over time you will be affected by these words from other people. And I think, creating that boundary, making sure that you love yourself first and you're aware of yourself, you know who you are. I think that's what really protects you. And that also ties to self-esteem, right? So, I think that's why I ask you that question. But final question, super final na talaga to. Have you ever been bullied? That took you so long. So meaning yes.
Well, no. Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay. What about it?
So, I'm not going to try to get too detailed into it, especially because me and this person are very close friends now. But before, I was cyber bullied, I guess, or cyber bullied by one of my friends, and obviously the effects on you at the time are negative. But now, kasi what happened is we both forgave each other for what happened back then, and there's also a side to that person that he was also dealing with some problems. So we've come to forgive each other, and we have become friends now. So even I'm not going to try to get too much into detail nga, but so a thing that you can take from that is, even if you're being bullied by someone, eventually after some emotional growth and bonding together after saying your sorries, and you can learn to become friends again, or to start to become friends. That's what I that's the thing that you can take from that story, that short story.
Got it. Yeah. I think the rebuilding trust, that's what matters after a bullying incident, right? Yeah. Okay. So to end this episode, Julian, what can you say, or what can you tell, or last message na lang to our listeners?
Last message to our listeners.
About bullying.
Yeah. Di ako masyadong magaling dito sa last message eh. If you're being bullied, I suggest trying to open up to your parents about it. If you can't do that, or if you don't want to do that, I suggest opening up to a friend, a teacher, or kung sa adult naman, if you're being bullied at the workplace, tell one of your friends, tell somebody, tell your partner about it. So yun, just have someone you can communicate it to vent to about your situation. And that's kind of why we're actually here, so that we can let you guys hear our words, so that we can vent to you, and so that you can hear our opinions on these things, and so that you can have somewhere to feel comforted, to be seen. Not literally, because
audio pa lang to.
yeah, audio pa lang to. But somewhere you can like feel not alone in
Right.
your problems.
Right. Okay, well, that's really good. And yeah, I think for me, because I think bullying is a very sensitive and very controversial topic. And just like what you said, we use our platform, we use this podcast to talk about things that are controversial, not comfortable or uncomfortable. And like what Julian said, if we do hope that somehow you felt seen by listening to this audio. If you were bullied, or maybe you were a bully before, because bullying has long-term effects whether we like it or not, and it's totally up to us on what these long-term effects are. Sometimes we can control them, sometimes we can't, but of course we need to help ourselves. It's all about perspective, right? Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, Julian, for having this episode with me. I learned a lot about you, and see you all next episode. All right. Bye.
Bye.